Well, this just into CBS Sports HQ. Reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers at training camp after a long offseason standoff with the Packers. The team, including its star quarterback, reported to Lambeau Field yesterday. The Packers held their first practice this morning as Rodgers addressed the media for the first time. Let's take a listen.
Aaron, what was this all about for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a loaded question. I think, there was a lot of things that transpired. This wasn't, a draft day thing. This was started with a conversation in February after the season ended. And I just expressed, my desire to be more involved in conversations that directly affected my job. Also, I wanted to help the organization maybe learn from them some of the mistakes in the past, in my opinion, about the way that some of the outgoing veterans were treated, and just the fact that we didn't retain a number of players that I felt like were core players to our foundation, our locker room, high character guys. I'm talking about Charles Woodson, Jordy Nelson, Julius Peppers, Clay Matthews, Randall Cobb, James Jones, John Kuhn, Brett Good, T.J. Lang, Brian Balaga, Casey Hayward, Micah Hyde, guys who were, exceptional players for us, but great locker room guys, high character guys. Many of them who weren't offered a contract at all, or were extremely lowballed, or were, maybe in my opinion, not given the respect on the way out that guys of their status and stature and high character deserved. And then it kind of progressed from there into a commitment for the 2021 season and beyond. That really wasn't given at any time. So for me, I had to assess the situation, not necessarily wanting to be a lame duck quarterback, especially after an MVP season, which I think you can understand. And then the other part in February was wanting to be a part of conversations involving free agents, which has never happened in my career. I've trained with a number of NFL guys most of my career in the off seasons. My agency, Athletes First, has had a number of high draft picks over the years. I've tried to pass along information. Hasn't really been used, shall we say. So I wanted to offer my services as a recruiter, and I think we can all understand, Green Bay isn't, a huge vacation destination. People are coming here to play with me, to play with our team, and knowing that they can win a championship here. And the fact that I haven't been used in those discussions was one I wanted to change moving forward. And I felt like based on my years, the way I can still play, that should be a natural part of the conversation. As that progressed from that point, nothing really changed on that front. So we got into March, and the conversation changed. As I felt like if you can't commit to me past 2021, and I'm not a part of the recruiting process and for agency, if I'm not a part of the future, then instead of letting me be a lame duck quarterback, if you want to make a change and move forward, then go ahead and do it. That obviously didn't happen. Like I said, it wasn't a draft day thing. There were conversations for a number of months leading up to that. Post the draft, I think what basically happened was then they said, we'll give you some money now. Let's see if we can throw some money at you. I said from the start it wasn't about the money. Obviously, I didn't show up for the off-season program or mini camp. To me, it was bigger than this. It was about trying to be a resource for the organization that I care about and love so much. So when the money came at me, the other part is, the backstory to that is, after the season, there was a part of me that did think that there would be conversation about an extension. Based on my cap number this season, next season, it seemed natural based on the way I played to at least have a conversation about it. It wasn't a conversation. Not until into May. And that to me seemed like an analogy that you guys understand. You guys have a fantastic year at work. You write some great stories. You go to your boss and say, I just had an incredible year. I think I deserve a pay raise or, some security. And the boss says, yeah, let's just see how it goes. A couple months down the line, you get another job opportunity. You go back to your boss and say, hey, I got this amazing job opportunity. And say, whoa, no, we love you. We do want you to stick around. We do care about you. It doesn't have the same feeling, and so, I said it wasn't about the money, and the way that felt, kind of just doubled down on that. Nothing really changed throughout the summer. There were obviously some developments in the last week or so, but I was really working on myself and my own mental state throughout the summer, and at various points deciding if I wanted to even keep playing. But the fire still burns, and I wanted to be on a football team, and we got some things figured out in the last few days, and I'm here.
Rodgers being open and honest there, finishing the 2020 regular season with 4,299 passing yards, 48 passing touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He led the league in numerous statistical categories, including completion percentage, touchdown passes, and passer rating. Now, all is well in Green Bay. That's according to our Packers general manager, Brian Gutekunst. Listen in.
I never really thought that would be any different. Obviously, there was a lot of work that went through that. But as far as the hopeful part of it, I was always hopeful. I think we became kind of confident, as the last week rolled on. We're working through some of those things. Nothing's been done differently at anybody's contract. And I don't really talk about the details, but nothing's been done differently. Well, I think winning is the most important thing, right? I mean, that's the number one thing. And I think, again, I talked a little bit about the communication part, I think, and incorporating, when we make decisions, whether it's personnel, whether it's Matt and his coaching staff, whether it's Mark and what some of the things he's doing, I think, there's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of different angles, certainly from personnel. I got medical, I got salary cap, coaching, scouting, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's, just kind of continuing to incorporate those things with Aaron. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's earned that seat at the table to have a voice. He always has had a voice. I think it's just kind of incorporating that.
Well, the man has done quite a bit in his career at Green Bay thus far. 3 MVP awards, 2011, 2014, and of course last season. He is the 6th player in NFL history to win 3+ MVPs. This is a fun one. Rodgers threw more passing touchdowns in 48 than the Packers had punts last year. They only had 46. His head coach, Matt LaFleur, thankful to have him back.
You're always prepared for the possibilities, and you're always planning and thinking about, either scenario, because we were, quite frankly, very unsure. So you have to have plans for whatever would happen, and I'm just really happy that he's back in the building. He's a part of this football team because, with him, we feel like the sky's the limit.
Well, looking at the Packers' odds for the 2021 season, they dramatically jumped up with the return of Rodgers. Their chance now to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,500. It was imperative for the Packers to have Rodgers back in there, considering their tough schedule. It is a difficult one this season for the Pack. And you got to keep it locked right here on CBS Sports HQ as we continue to provide the latest around the league as we prepare for the 2021 season. Our HQ training camp tour continues, making stops all around the country, chatting with the Cowboys here today, the Ravens and the Eagles on Thursday, the champion Buccaneers on Friday, and finishing things off next Monday with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.